Are we live now? Yes. What's going on, everyone? I almost couldn't find my own intro sheet. Whatever would I have done? I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, hey, it's Brian. Podcast time. Duh. Podcast time. Podcast time. No. Seriously, you guys. My name is Brian, and you are in my world. Always do an obnoxious cough and sneeze in the beginning of the episode because I'm a stuffy boy. This stuff here is also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Links not in description. Go find it yourself. Really, you guys, I just podcast to express my multiple personality disorder, OCD, ADHD, hypersexuality, whatever else. Bipolar 2 is manic. I stay on that Seroquel, you feel me? For real though, you guys. I try my best to have a crazy, wild, interesting life and turn it into a production. Work hard, have fun. Life is about the journey and not the destination. I'm unfiltered, uncensored, unhinged, and keep it outside the box. I've learned from my past mistakes. I am full of the spiritual wisdom, the knowledge, the power, esoteric, but also out of pocket, wacky comments, and just shooting the shit sometimes. I guess you're not supposed to swear here in the beginning. You know what? Way she goes, bud. That's one of the things I say. Way she goes. But we are here, baby. What are we here to do? Live life to your best, bro. That's really what I'm about. I'm here to help show people how to live life to your best. Because I used to live life to its worst and I was dumb. And now I live life to its best every single day, no matter what's going on, no matter how I physically feel. What's good, Chinchy? My ninja, my ninja. My ninja. My ninja. Yeah, dude. If you're tuned into this broadcast, you are the resistance. I just did some dabs. I got this torch here for $7, and I did some dabs, dude. No, this is all comedy. I'm not allowed to say that. I did some. No, I was doing the dance move. I was just doing a little dab, bro. Nothing's too serious. Actually, I took 4 meaty globs, my boy. I was tweaking, bro. I really held out and was patient today. But yeah, no, what are we talking about, dude? Well, she's a very freaky girl. She gets it from the internet. First you get her name. Then you get her chatterbait username. Then you get some brain from a furry in a Hummer. Then you get some brain from a furry in a Hummer. She's a very freaky girl. I wish we could still play music on here, but I'm trying to be legit. I want to be able to download this and send it up to Spotify so we can be legit. Now, the actual lyric in that Gucci Mane song is, then you get some brain in the front seat of a Hummer. But I was listening to the song, and I have OCD, impulsive, sexual thoughts sometimes, and I thought maybe like, then you get some brain from a furry. You see like a furry, someone in a furry suit in the Hummer. And that got me to thinking about having a furry orgy, you know? Yeah, I didn't really think it. Just look, you guys. Sometimes with me and how I do business here, and how we trap our audio bricks, and how we come up with this magical airwave vibe, energy, uniqueness, fire, flame. Sometimes I'm just a little stoned, and I'm just listening to rap music, and my brain's like, getting a blowjob from a furry in a Hummer. But that's how you. I mean, hey, that's how you win in life, you guys. The term retard maxing is becoming. Is it becoming popular? I don't know. Am I the only one that talks about retard maxing? Me and that Elijah Long guy. Big time. Pretty big community of men's wellness. I've been listening to a little bit of Andrew Tate, you guys, to fall asleep. Some of like his emergency meetings over the past 2 years, and Andrew Tate's one of those guys that you hear bullshit and then you won't like him, but if you actually watch his shit and if you're a dude, bro, if you're a manly man, see, look, my child needs care. Hi, sweetie. Are you able to go to sleep okay? What's wrong? Do you need anything, my child? Don't say anything crazy because we're live on the internet, okay? So whisper it, please. That's okay. Just be quiet and you can watch your show. Okay? And if the TV's bothering you, you can go in your other room, okay? Is that cool? Look at this, dude. Look at this thing. Isn't that crazy, dude? That's my biology. That's just me in a little female human form. It has its own... It's gaining consciousness, man. It's starting to gain consciousness. It knows things. Fox. That is a fox. That's just a fox, and it's just a nice fox. You can go to bed now. Good night. I love you. Mwah. Night. Sleep tight. Sleep well. Don't stay up late. I won't. See that right there? But yeah, I don't know. And that's life, dude. Being an idiot, being a fool, retire maxing, super important concept for everybody. But yeah, you gotta be yourself and you gotta be dumb. And don't be afraid of what people think about what you say. We have these verbal spells where we really don't want to say what we really want to say. Dude, you should be a little out there. Like, my mouth is about the same as my brain. You feel me? The things that I post on social media, the things that I be spouting out on my podcast and content, yeah, it's just, there you go. It's just what's going on in here. And a lot of what's going on in here is very wacky, but also, very wise and exciting. What's up, Daniel? Happy Thursday. Yeah, I was feeling Thursday. I told you guys, it's like that. Every single week to week. I am not a bullshitter. I not just say things, you guys. I've been pounding it all summer and telling everybody that, like, yo, dude, I don't know what it is, but like Thursday comes around, I'm feeling ready to party. Even though I don't drink no more. I don't drink no booze. I'll do it too. Everybody knows I'll do it too. And you know what? Honestly, I'm West Virginia sober, bud. I'm West Virginia sober. No. Seattle, Washington sober. Yes, I'm Seattle sober. Hell yeah, because I'll do anything that's not alcohol. As long as I know, as long as I can, like hypothetically, in the hypothetical of hypotheticsis, that whatever I was taking in wasn't going to kill me. As long as I wasn't going to overdose, I'll do anything. Like, even the thing that makes you overdose, like hanging out with Fetty Frank in the Booth Barn with Heroin Harry and fucking Slithering Steve and Cocaine Carl and Ketamine Kenny and Benzo Brian. No, I haven't done a benzodiazepine like Xanax. I haven't done anything like that in so long because I wouldn't buy it. I would not purchase. Like, if someone offered me that, For old time's sake, I'd pop a Zanny, but I wouldn't go. You see what I'm saying, you guys? I'd try. I'll do it. If I know what it is and it's real, I'll do it. I'll do some Fetty. But I don't have that much of an interest in downers, though. I'm not really. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I think I would say no to a Percocet or like a downer. I think I'd be like, why the fuck would I do that? Or maybe my high energy these days, I would give it a shot because I have a different energy these days. Not that I didn't have a strong energy in the past. It's not like I'm some completely different. Don't be that. Don't be that person, you guys. Don't be the completely different person. I could say that and make that argument, but I'm really not. Like, this is how I've always felt. This is me. Here I am. What the fuck? Yeah, you don't want to be the... Because you think you're different, but you're really not, and you're gonna go in the same... it's insanity. But yeah, you gotta have your tools, dude. And me being Seattle sober, like, I like to party. So it's gonna be that way. I'll smoke the crack. As long as I know it's crack rock, I'll smoke crack rock. And I'll get some brain from a furry in the front seat of a Hummer, okay? But life, dude, life is about having your tools. Yeah. Tools! I have to have my tools! I like to bind. I like to be bound. I like to tie up. I like to get off. That's how I get off. My tools. Tools. Tools! Need my tools! Okay, so there is some there is some deep Bryan lore that I am actually all of the gang in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm literally a composite of their personalities. I'm the gang in one person. Like everyone's personality. I do the Dennis Reynolds like I was a golden god. I literally do that, you guys. I'm toxic towards high school people. Like I literally do that shit. Like I do the golden god shit. I was a golden god. I knew it too. I knew I was gonna be on that one day. I just fucking knew it. Why? I don't know. It's Dennis. He was crazy. You feel me? Like it's. But I do feel like that, bro. It does make sense. I was a golden god. They just didn't notice. I was the realest. I was the meanest and greenest. Nah, I was kind of funky. I didn't really have any real confidence. I had like this kind of like draw attention in my goofiness to draw away from the fact that I was not like as heard as I thought I was. Maybe I was good at like lifting weights and working out. I was about it. I got in a fight in like 9th grade. I guess I was kind of about it, but the one dude didn't fight me. He said his back was hurt. He was supposed to be one of the toughest kids in school. He said his back hurt. I was like, your back hurt. Your L5 spine is all messed up. Shut up. Like, take better care of yourself, bro. I think I said that because I'm not nice. Like, I'm very, very nice to everyone, and I'm super empathetic and compassionate and loving. But once someone's a dick, I become so bad and scary and weird and wild and in your face and wanting to tear you apart that it's just not even fucking funny. Like, it's wild. Like, any type of dickness, especially when someone's being a dick towards other people, bro, you could suck my dick. A girl could suck my wiener. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. It's supposed to be kind of professional. See, I can't edit that out when I'm live. That's what's fun about it, though. I could receive oral sex. And let's say the hoe, now we're in Home Depot, because me and Home Depot got something in common. We got hella hoes, you feel me? No, I'm not like that actually. Could be if I wanted to. Very obvious. Everyone knows that. Whatever. Not my problem. But if I take my hoe into Home Depot and she starts disrespecting my fellow camaraderers, my fellow idiots and retards and friends and good people, and maybe people that are a dick, but they're actually holding it down, being nice for the day, you know? You're my friend today. All right. We're cool now. Cool now, bro. Cool now. Get that Doritos Ranch cool now. Ugh, Doritos are fucking gross. I can't eat a Dorito, bro. I'll drink some Kratom straight. I drink Kratom powder straight. I can't do no Doritos. I don't know. I like the cheese. Okay, so going off this thought though, staying with this thought, yeah, that I'm a composite of all the characters on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I'm hopeless romantic, and like for whatever reason, even though I'm barely even seeing anyone, for some reason it's like this weird centerpiece somehow. And I've gotten good with. I've learned how to like manage that. I just have to like, you have to find the perfect girl and then dump her. It's super hard, you guys, and I had the theory of and then my love for her. In my head, everything I'm doing is for her, but I haven't talked to the girl in 5 months. You see, it's just a mind game, but I just want to be successful, so I'm tricking myself. And I knew that I was a hopeless romantic, and I had to do some trick yourself, painful shit. That, hey, you know, that brings me to another point, bro. Blasting cigarettes when you're stressed out going through something. Dude, I was doing the Kirby sales job, blasting fucking cigs in the sales van, studying that shit, just blasting fucking cigs. Dude, that breakup was brutal. And we weren't even official. Brutal, you guys. I left. I dipped out. I said, I can't take this. I want to wait, but I can't. So I gotta go be Brian mode somewhere else with somebody else or something, or just love you in the background. And exactly, I'm gonna sacrifice my love for you because I said I would do it, and now I'm gonna do it. You put my dick to the fucking stone, and you said, you gonna do it or not? If you don't, I'm gonna smash your dick. And I said, I'm out. But yeah, bro, blasting cigarettes in that sales van, trying to sell Kirby vacuums. And like, because, you know, I'm smoking the cigarettes not just because I'm a little sad and in love and heartbroken, but like I'm also fucking pissed and want to like caveman energy, and I wanted to go Tom Brady on this playbook and learn about this vacuum so I can go trap that bitch and try to sell $3,000 vacuums, which I did. I made 3 sales, but the people failed the credit shit. And I think I would have got other ones, but they're a little sleazebag-ish, and I know how to merge sleazebag with not sleazebag. I'm like next level. But once you show your hand that you're on, like, oh, we have a cruise we're trying to win, my sales contest for the month. There's only 1 day left, and if I don't go on this cruise, my wife is gonna leave me. And my daughter, I'm not going to get any time with my daughter because I'll go back to drinking and I'm an alcoholic. So if you don't buy this Kirby vacuum today, I won't be able to go on my vacation. Wife will leave me, go back to drinking, won't be able to see my daughter. And yeah, you're going to ruin my life if you don't buy this $3,000 Kirby vacuum. What's up, Polly? Idiots, retards, and friends sound like tools. Yeah, you want to be the, out of those, you want to be a retarded friend. It's the best move. I really studied mental health disorders, and I'm really, Jesus, Polly. It's a little worse than I like, oh, normal people. I thought that was no. You think these things are normal, and yeah, they try to tell you, but like, dude, my shit's like magnified. Like the OCD, there's always people asking me like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why you pick that up? Why you do it that way? It's like, I don't know. It's my OCD. So like, I really am different, but I've talked about this, The problem with the mental health disorders is they're always framed as you're a victim and it's a problem. When if you start framing it as a superpower and a strength, it can become just that and be a very strong thing. But yeah, yeah, Charlie Kelly, wacky weirdness, Mac sussiness, what else? Always Sunny in Philadelphia characters. Frank, the like superstar diva persona. And yeah, it's all the characters from Always Sunny. So and Dennis, I'm not a fuck boy, but I could maybe be considered a player. You feel me? But like, I'm willing to play ball. You feel me? That and that can stretch out, like weeks, months. For sometimes if you really want to catch a big fish, like it takes a while. It takes a while, dude. If you really want to get if you really want to get some brain from a furry in the front seat of a Hummer, you need your tools. That's just what I have written down. I don't know, you guys. We have a retraction, and I don't know if I don't know if this ended up being an official episode or just one of the lives that I made private. I don't remember, but I was talking about this Bonnie Blue character, and at first I thought she was just kind of like maybe just a hot OnlyFans girl, which in some capacity are my coworkers. Wouldn't you like to know weather, boy? Let's not talk about that. But don't go looking. You'll see my butthole. Don't. It's not worth your time. It's gonna ruin you. But anyways, here's Bonnie Blue, OnlyFans girl. Now I found out, and I made a joke. I heard about her. Her name came up, Bonnie Blue something. I don't even know. I just knew she was an OnlyFans girl. I didn't know anything about the whole situation. So I made a joke. I remembered in my head that I did have sex with her. I've met her before and I did have sex with her. I like now that in that episode, I thought about it and I was like, I did have sex with her. But then I was thinking about it again and I didn't. I actually didn't. I remembered wrong. So I did not. I didn't, because I found out that Bonnie Blue is actually the, you can see it right there, the 1,000 Men and Me, the Bonnie Blue story. I don't necessarily have a problem with 1,000 men, because I mean, if we want to maybe start doing some calculator shit, like maybe this isn't so bad. Let's try and be nice. Remember, I used to rant about people, Polly, and I would always be negative and rag on someone like Bonnie Blue. But let's see what we can learn from Bonnie Blue. But essentially, yeah, I heard her on this there's this kid that has people on his podcast. He's this little like Romanian pale kid with crazy curly hair. He's cute as hell. Mayton. And this little Mayton kid, they have a weird ass interview podcast, and they trick people, I guess, to going on it, and they end up like asking them like questions. He asked her like the first question was like, "So it says here you have sex with 100 men. Can you explain to us why you are such a despicable, disgusting whore that lives a depraved lifestyle?" Like that bad, literally those words just right next to her. And then they brought her in. She probably had no idea what the setup was going to be. It's like a blind walk into the studio, and they had a dude in a hazmat suit, and they had Mayton behind like this like shield, like plastic thing, like it's COVID or something. So anyways, yeah, this issue with her is essentially she'll have sex with random strangers. So it's a very like random thing, and she basically says like she leaves her house door open. She leaves her doors unlocked for people to walk in and try to have sex with her. Now, It just sounds like, though, oh, it's easy, though. Like, oh, I like having sex with strangers. I like letting everyone enjoy my body and have sex with me. And it's like, the simp for a simp and a fuckboy, it's like, oh, ding, 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 oh, blah, blah, blah. You're going to fucking look up her address, ain't you? There's some people that would hear that and look up her address. You already know, like, this is my chance to be with a Bonnie Blue type. So, you see 1,000 men, and it's like, okay, if it was 1,000, like, good men, or I don't even. Let's do the math first before. Let's try to save Bonnie. Okay, how bad is this? 1,000 guys. So there's 365 guys in a year. So you would have to bang, if to do it in a year, you would have to bang 3 dudes in a day. Oh man, that would give you like cancer. That would not be. No, I don't know if it's like built for. It's not really built for all that. Like you could do like, you could maybe make it a couple months. I guess it depends on the duration and time. Hypothetically, you know, if this was just a like 4 minutes and out type thing.
I need something. There's no toilet paper.
All right, so let's extrapolate this out a little bit. How old is Bonnie Blue? How old is Bonnie Blue? And I'll try to be more descriptive. Oh boy, that's not good. She's 26. I was hoping maybe like 40. Oh, this poor. Okay, see. Now it's like some over sexualization, irrational. Ooh. I was hoping she was older and it would make a little bit more sense over a longer duration. It would be a little bit more like maybe understandable and interesting. But that dude maybe was right. That little Maiden kid, he might have been right. Because all right, so I guess we have to look at when she turned 18, we'll say. So that's 8 years. Um, let's see, 8 times 365 days. And we're looking for what? We gotta do this right. Division is per. Division sign means per. You're trying to do this shit. So what are we trying to do? We're looking for how many fucks per day to get to 1,000 men over a span of 8 years. This is 2025. Our society is quite deranged these days, math. But what we need to do here is... So let's think about it, you guys. How do we do this math problem? We need to look at fucks per day. So we're looking at 1,000 bangs divided by per days. This would be 2,000 over a time period of 2,000. Okay, so she's really only to get that. Let's say she did do that over an 8-year span. You would only have to. What that means is basically every 3 days. One every 3 days. So not even one per day. Only a third of a ding dong per day. Now, what I don't like about this is that it's very siren and evil energy, because like I don't know, a woman that likes sex that much to have like a book called a Thousand Men and Me, someone that is interested in sex, I would just assume would also be interested in the female body, and also, and maybe she does talk about that, and I'm jumping the gun, but you would think that there would be some like bisexual behavior, like her talking about hooking up with women, and you know what I'm saying. Usually a girl that's freaky like that, in most situations, in my sample size and the people I've met, they are also bisexual, and they will talk a lot. Any girl that I've met that, enjoys sex and likes to do all that, and some people are prude and space it out. It depends. The ones that are a little more freakier and like to mix it up a little bit more also talk a lot about how beautiful women are, and how they're like open to like a three-person with like another girl, which sounds cool. I'm now into that. Polyamory is okay if that's what you're feeling, dude. Whatever you're feeling, just roll with it. Bonnie Blue's real name is Tia Billinger. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to dig into this story or anything. I just wanted to point out a couple of outside the box observations on this, because I'm sure they're talking about her and she's a popular person. I didn't know she was only 26. Me personally, it like, as a conquering man, as a hard working man, I don't work my ass off on my personality to go sleep with a girl who makes it easy for me. I don't do all this to go for that type of woman. No matter how pretty she is, I do not find that shit attractive. I can see in her eyes, and I could see it in the interview the 3 minutes of the interview I watched, there is just a soulless, I mean, even the picture of her book, she's not hiding from the fact that this is just soulless and evil, and the blue eyes and the blue, there's something to be said about the power of blue eyes, and using the blue eye power as like a beauty and like a deception and power thing. Like, look into my blue eyes, the color of the sky, like to suck you into the abyss and the ether, suck you into the evil ether. It's it's like a woman like this would resemble the apple in Adam and Eve temptation shit. Like, oh, dude, if I sent Bonnie Blue, if I could do a bit, I'll do a 3-minute bit on why Bonnie Blue should sleep with me. Oh, you like this and that? Okay, here's a 3-minute bit on why she would sleep with me. If it got viral and got out there and she saw it, I wouldn't be surprised if she flew me out. I wouldn't be surprised if I had a legitimate shot. Based on what I heard about her in the interview and her mindset, I think she would actually, the things that I say and think about certain stuff, I really think that she would actually like, oh, okay, this sounds actually like the above average type. This is, you know what I'm saying? I don't always, if I'm making myself this open and to a random assortment of men, you're now going to put yourself on that spread of sample size data. So you're getting all sorts of types of men, right? It's not like it doesn't sound like she would seek the high value men at like a high value establishment or bar or club or venue. Sounds more like it was just any old motherfucker that wanted to hit it and like, oh, you seem, I don't know, I don't know. So yeah, every 3 days isn't necessarily like gonna give you like cancer, but there is like you can get, I've heard, you like the really over promiscuous women that aren't like clean about it, and they don't have good like habits. Yeah, I've heard like it's not really good, and it's depravity. They get attracted to the nastiness of like dude, it's like an evil temptation, gross shit. Once the brain is sexually broken, like, that's why I bring this kind of shit up, because it's not, again, should I try to do that just for fun, see what she would say? What if it actually happened? Oh, I got to sleep with Bonnie Blue. I wouldn't be proud of that. And I know a lot of people, most men would probably agree with me, No, I'd say 90% of men would probably agree that, yeah, no, you're not having my wiener. You can have their wiener, but not mine. It's like, oh, here's your chance as a normie ass dude. Here's my chance as a normie ass dude to reject you, woman. Like, oh, I guess I probably could have you if you like that. I could find my way to slide in. But you know what? No, I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna ponder it. It's arbitrary. It's very arbitrary because I wouldn't be interested in that anyways. But I made a joke. I have that running joke where whenever I bring up like a famous female, I'll be like, "Oh, dude, I remember. I slept with her. I had sex with her that one time." Now that I remember, it's funny, man. I like it. Um, Polly, what do I think about the Trump burying the Epstein files because he's in them? I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue. I'm unplugged from the news. I don't look at any of that shit. I have no idea. I don't scroll social media feeds. I have no idea. My news feed only has sports. Like, I told it not to send me any shit. Like, I don't. I would say this. It's the same opinion I'm going to have on every single news story. It's all just a play. Of course, Trump's in the thing. Of course, he's president now. Of course, there's going to be a little game. It's something negative for people to latch onto. Feel like they're in the know. It's conspiracy people fodder. I'm a conspiracy guy, but a lot of the shit is fodder. It's just like mud to play in. You know, it's mud to play in for children. It can be fun and interesting, and I'd probably get into more of it if I wasn't a young, busy man. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Trump and Epstein is like there's all the pictures, and he was like a known associate. And before Trump was in the running for president, I don't know if there was much sketch stuff about Trump necessarily. But there was a lot of sketch stuff with Epstein for the last 10 years that Alex Jones on InfoWars was covering, and then around when Trump was coming up in 2016, they no longer let Alex Jones talk about that anymore. Because, yeah, sometimes he did point out, like, yeah, Donald Trump was with him, David Blaine, whoever was on them files and shit. Like, there was inside information on that for a long time. This is stuff, you can, like, see the original Alex Jones, like, looking all young and shit, ranting about Jeffrey Epstein. And I've been kind of following Alex Jones since I was 12 years old. That would have been around like 2010. So like I kind of got caught up with the Obama stuff and then also the George Bush stuff. Yeah, it would have been fun to see those documentaries like as they were coming out in 2007 and 6. Like he was as Obama was running, he was dropping those documentaries, and it was really good because it was so bipartisan, you guys. Alex Jones's OG documentaries were bipartisan as fuck. He didn't even talk about Democrat or Republican at all. He did not have a side. He was exposing both. It was hardcore. But yeah, he would basically like it, I think it was they talked a little bit about how George Bush and his agenda set it up for Obama to be the next guy and look like, oh, we're bringing change and making things better. But then the whole grabble was going to be even more war and more bombs. That's what he was saying. He said Obama was going to drop the more bombs than any president. I remember watching that shit in 2010, and I didn't even really follow the news or understand it. I'm just thinking that in my head. And then later on find out that, yeah, you might fact check that and it might say a different story. Again, everything I say is speculation. Do I really know? Obama could just be a puppet actor, and you know, it's not that big of a deal. At the end of the day, I look back on some of those Alex Jones documentaries, and it's just a little sketch because he's saying like George Bush, this and that, is like the evil guy, and Obama as this evil guy. And I think that those human spirits were good at one point, but they were compromised by evil. And these people were just, George Bush's dad was a president. These people, Obama, parents, CIA ties, like all these people, MK Ultra shit. They're raised to be the role. It's more of a oligarch than a democracy. Like if you look at the families and you look at where they come from and you look at where these politicians are coming from, it's absolutely an oligarchy. You will never have some dumbass like me winning president, even though like a dumbass like me should win president. And even they're tricking everybody. They think like, oh, a businessman can be a rich global elite that owns New York City pretty much, like all the real estate in New York City. Like, you guys, what a terrible, looking in hindsight, what a terrible guy to rally around that would be the one to drain the swamp when he's so swampy himself is not even funny. The Epstein pictures, of course, he's in the files. Like, come on, you guys. We got tricked. As soon as the 2019 pandemic came out and he was Daddy Moderna, I was like, oh, no, MAGA might be fun. I'll look at MAGA as a fun thing. But I can't sit here and say that he is gonna be the one to drain the swamp, because the whole thing is a swamp. There's no such thing as a swamp, a shitty part in something good. It's maybe some good parts in something shitty, maybe. But yeah, I mean, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Tucker Carlson or XYZ, Mark Cuban, somebody else. Like, look at now, the people's names we throw in the hat is such a wider variance. And in people's brains, they think that's like a development thing. Like, oh, anybody can be president now. Dude, that's just as oligarch, if not even more. Now it's money. And come on. There's symbolism with all of them that tie them to previous rich families. Like, you can just go through it. It's wild. But yeah, like there's like the Roths, but then before it was the Rothschilds. Like there's like Black Rock and then another thing called Black Rock. Like there's all these separate things that are obviously tied together. It's not really hard to see. I sound like one of them Jamaican dudes. It's not really hard to see through the democracy, see that it's an oligarchy. Other people come together. Got some bitch in the back named Heather. Polly says 4 days ago Bonnie Blue went to the porn awards and didn't even get a limp dick biscuit to take home. Well, I don't know. I feel bad for the girl. There's evil and over sexualization, but the whole thing with her is I've never seen a more obvious character. That I've never seen more obvious like plug in, like media plug. You're playing your role of being the whore. We're gonna shame you and slut shame you and make women feel bad about having sex. Like it was seeing her get like it's all manipulation shit. It's all funneled into our brains to have some kind of effect. The Bonnie Blue character, honestly, in that interview, same vibe, Joe Biden vibes, AI. Synthetic humanoid. They have them. They have Terminators. Like they're amongst us. Or you could maybe do augmented reality type shit with drones floating around. You could do that. I don't know. However you want to do it. There's so many ways. But again, you can also spiritually compel people and raise and have these people from a subset to do thy bidding, right? Assign you to your role. But yeah, man, not my cup of tea. I like a challenge, ladies. Any of my groupies out there, I like a challenge. I spit cook. I'm just on here spitting cook. Let me cook. Let me spit cook, I was thinking though of some of my bits and thinking about how some of the bits are really just like I'm being real, being honest. I'm just kind of like, I'm just an idiot and I actually think it was practical. I made a comment in the last one requesting that my ex-wife had sent me the sex tape that I don't have, and I think maybe she might still have. Um, Now it's funny to bring that up as a joke, and am I being super serious? No, I don't. I wouldn't. I'm not thirsty like that. I wouldn't ask that for someone that. But kind of in my head, I'm like, the best way to get it back would be to publicly announce it, make a short about it, hope she somehow sees it in the algorithm, and then it's like yes, you know what? The spiritual world is telling me that I need to send you the sex tape. It's like 5D chess is what I'm playing here. Okay. But yeah, no, I don't I joke, but a lot of it is yeah, I actually have an ex-wife. I'm sure people would make jokes like that. You see people that go on the show Kill Tony, and then Tony will ask them after the jokes in the interview portion whether or not one of the jokes was an actual event, and then a lot of times not. So I try to meet it in the middle. Maybe I'm not as like laughy funny, but it be some real, just kind of real shit. A little bit more real shit. Let's do. What are we at? What are we at? Yeah, I need to. I need to do some dials. So let's do a preview of what we'll be talking about next, and we're gonna listen to some we're gonna put on some royalty free shit because I don't want to get any kind of I don't want to have, in case, I'm really feeling good about what I have up, Polly. I feel good about the podcasts that I've been doing. They definitely stand out compared to what I used to do and what used to be like. I'm proud of it. The shorts, I just got to keep posting the shorts and getting my exposure. They're giving me views on the YouTube and on the TikTok, giving me likes, and it's working. Things are moving. The needle's moving. So I don't want to have some clip go viral and have a bunch of people watch my podcast and then have an opportunity to get monetization, but have way too much music. So we're gonna do some copyright free music. At least that's what royalty free, copyright safe music. So we should be good here. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. Don't play that. Ooh, that was close. We almost played a song. There is another option. See, if it was the old days, I would probably do the Kanye West song, HH, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Y'all know it. Anybody, if Chinchi's in here, you're the only one that knows what I'm talking about. There's a remix of a Kanye song that I'm not going to even bring up the words because, marketability, but it's the Hail Hitler one. If it was the old version of me, I would do it. But, I try to be only in good taste. I don't want to be the cringe shock value guy. All right, let me do some dibbity dabbities, and we'll get back to the skippity dippity. Performance enhancers, my boy. Bubba, Bubba Hash. I don't know, man. I've pulled off some truly impossible things in my life. The idea of being a big star or even a global icon doesn't intimidate me or scare me or worry me. I feel like I belong. I feel like I manifested the return realm, quantum manifestation. Dude, I was right. I was about to come on here and I had something in my head, dude. That's the neurodivergent. It holds me back. I'd already be a star if I wasn't so donkey brained. For real, what was I just thinking? I wish I could rewind my thoughts now. Damn. I was saying, like, maybe we gotta play the music again. I've pulled off so many impossible things. Like the whole keep telling yourself you're all this and that. There's so many times. I have 100 examples of times where I told myself I was something and believed I was something, even though I had no real data or events to back it up. But I felt like I was capable of something and then executed that. Basically like a rookie quarterback going in for his first game in the NFL, or a high school quarterback going in to his first game in college, or a middle schooler going into his first game as high school, you know? You get in there, you know your plays, you know the offense, whatever situation it could be. You have some kind of expectation of what you're going to have to say or do or act or achieve or calculate or comprehend. And if you can learn to just be in that moment and just access all that shit you've been telling yourself, boom. You might be in the Secret Service, but I was working today, dude, at work, and I was just like, yo. The Secret Service is SS. You guys realize that? It's literally SS. Like, I seen like this thing on their thing. Like, I seen a picture or something of Secret Service. It said SS. And I was like, where have you heard that before? Look, you might get in trouble for typing that in. Social Security. No, we're talking about the Nazis. The SS soldiers, the black uniformed elite corps. So that got me thinking about Project Paperclip. You know, I don't talk too much about the conspiracy stuff, but Project Paperclip was essentially they took at the end of World War II when the Nazis lost. They took all the high-ranking officials and scientists, government, teachers. They took all these high-level Germans that were, you know, this was the Nazi party that ruled Germany at World War II and caused a freaking ruckus and tried to do a crazy-ass genocide. Which is wild, you guys. That's not cool. Like, it's like the worst, you asshole. That's the whole thing with a fascinating individual is like, how the hell you convince all them people? Like, well, I don't even know. It's all, history is just his story. So who knows? But anyways, America, United States of America, we pretty much won the war. That's what his story says, that we came in there and we, the Nazis Germany was winning and they're about to take over like Europe and it wasn't going to be good if they teamed up with the Russians. I think the samurais, the Chinese people though, they probably had to see some secret shit. They probably, the samurais, bro. Can you imagine like some of the technology the Nazis had was way ahead of the time, and that's exactly Project Paperclip. Okay, dude, they had some secret shit that they don't really talk about much, maybe a little bit on the low, and they give you some hints. And you have to talk to a conspiracy theorist like me to tell you that they had, like, I don't know, aliens and shit. They were doing all the same shit that they have nowadays. They were doing the DMT entity communication stuff to get ideas, to literally beam them the ideas to make this evil technology to fight an evil cause, bro. Literally, this DMT, they take the DMT or like whatever designer psychedelic they want. It's all crazy shit, dude. And a lot of it is like potion witchcraft. Like it ain't even really science. It's just like, bro, it's like I drink turmeric and tell myself it's spiritual. I drink turmeric and black pepper. I put it in this drink. I put some grape shit in there, some grape drink, and my grape drink, it is not high in sugar. It's more of a salt. Grapey, a salty grape, sweet and salty, just like I like it. So yeah, people have talked about Project Paperclip. I've talked about it plenty in the past and dug into it. Um, let's just use Wikipedia to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. I'm hot stoned. I have a job. Like I can't research something. I'm not gonna be that nerdy and try to like be the smart guy. An aggregate. That's what we all are. All these people like Joe Rogan, that's a smart guy. Oh, he's a god. Like no, he's an aggregate and he just pays attention. And you could ask Joe and he'd say the same fucking shit. He'd say I'm an idiot, and I'm just like me. We're idiots. We're stupid people, retards, bro. But we retard max, and we just absorb from other humans. That's what makes Joe Rogan so good. That's why he's worth $200 million, because he cares so much about other people. He's an empath. I'd actually probably get along with him rather well, to be honest. As much shit as I talk on him, as a small guy, I have to talk shit on Joe Rogan. It's just what you do. But nah, he's like my vibe, and he gets the best out of people in those interviews. You know, they're good conversation. He digs into things like it's good shit. But he does a pretty good job of being well researched, though. He reads more than I do. What's the point? It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? I have better things to do, like, 10 o'clock, we're going to go over to the other website, buddy. It's going to be a little bit different. Project Paperclip my ass. All right, get out of here. Oh, the kitty, dude. Kitty, no. Oh, you fucking dumb kitty. Oh, now you're run. Oh. Ah, see, that's how girls are, bro. You can't spook them. I tried to get the cat to move, and she fucking jumped. She heard about the other show. She wanted to get in on it, eh? This is Joe Thomas, Jersey, Johnny Manziel, and Nick Chubb, Cleveland. So, you guys, I'm sorry. Let's focus, dummy. Neurodivergent brain. You know what? I do really long intros. This is actually the intros. Really, I just podcast to express my multiple personality disorder, ADHD. See, we're getting off track. Talking about Joe Rogan's bald head, which I might go bald. I would look good. It'd be fine. It'd be cool. I'm gonna do it eventually, maybe. I just podcast to express my disorder. But for real, you guys, that's the end of the intro. No. So this is a secret United States intelligence program, CIA. So this is open information. We're not really busting open anything too crazy here, you guys. This is very ground level. I wouldn't even call this conspiracy stuff. Conspiracy is like the skull and bones beaten off into a coffin initiation shit with George Bush. Like that. Like whether or not they do that or not is arbitrary, because they're driven by evil and greed and control and power. It doesn't matter what exactly that looks like, whether they're jerking off in a coffin or not. All these stories, you know what I'm saying, that we get from the conspiracy community, it's a little bit too much and a little bit distracting and a little too glorified and sexual and scary. It's not really good to think about or healthy to think about, especially because like you don't need to do that. I don't know if that's the exact ritual. That's probably not the exact ritual. But yeah, it probably might be. I don't know. Why would someone be talking and saying all that? I don't know. Anyways, this was 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from former Nazi Germany. Do I need to? That's a lot of freaking people, bro. You feel me? Like, we have 50 states, okay? So, how many Nazis per state? How many high-level ranking? About 32 Nazis hopped in to have high positions in our society. 32 Nazis per state had some higher level role, whether it be an engineer, a scientist, or a technician. They had medical people. They had all sorts of it. And these are all now, in the eyes of the United States, a wealth of scientific talent and advanced research. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to shut down, everyone does the whole United States is actually the Nazis conspiracy and the blah blah blah. Dude, it's not that hard to, if you really want to destroy that party, give those people a job, more money here. Hey, come work for the United States. We'll pay you more. Come do all your research and development for us. We'll pay you more money. We'll give you a visa to live here. We'll let you be an immigrant from Germany. You know what I'm saying? It's very smart, because now you've diverged those people away from each other. They can't get in cahoots. Hitler's not sneaking around body doubles and like in the shadows plotting. Dude, like it's some Marvel movie where the evil guy seems like he took the L but secretly was in the background. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, that could have been a concern with how bad and how influential and just like how messed up World War II was, apparently. Like, yeah, you would want to do everything you can. That's part of our culture. What it means to be like a hardworking everyday American is you fucking do everything that needs to be done. And not everyone's like that these days, and that's okay. Some shit's like, fuck it, end times. But I try to have that vibe as much as possible, even at work, at a temp job at a warehouse. Okay, if the clock ends at 4:30, I'm gonna work until 4:30. Now, I also show up like a few minutes late sometimes because I have OCD, and then I start doing things in the morning, and it's, even if I wake up 2 hours early or 5 minutes before I gotta leave. So yeah, everybody does the whole like, we took the Nazis, oh my god, we merged with the Nazis, like they became us. And yeah, you could paint that picture and play that game. Sure, SS, Secret Service. Now the Secret Service, to debunk that, was created in 1865. So whether or not maybe the Nazis copied us or something, I don't know, man. But yeah, this Project Paperclip doesn't have to be this conspiracy thing. It can very much be this, hey, United States made a tactical move, probably offered these people more money to come work in the United States and do their research and scientists and become part of what we got going on and add to what we got on. House, dude. I don't know. Were girls back into Foreigners? Yeah, they were, dude. Yeah, dude. German dude was getting what he want. If he's got some swag. Well, this is like 1950, you guys. I don't know if humans are that nature. We think that we're so over sexualized these days, but I don't know that for a fact. What if on the low, maybe it didn't appear in like their culture at all, in the way they dressed, but we don't really know how everybody acted. We know the stories in his story, but we don't necessarily know how collective, I'm sure there was some, you're a German dude, 1950s, you're going to get some tail in the United States because these bitches into Foreigners, I like foreign women. Why not? Hey, exotic is like, it's like an exotic pet. I don't know. Are ghetto chicks considered like ghetto white girls? The crazy ones. Are they considered foreign? Kinda. They're different. It's not your usual chick. She got that look in her eye. Mommy's got that look in her eye. Oh fuck. Mommy doesn't let me eat some days. God. Yo, President of the United States. Hi, everybody. It's me, President of the United States. Barack Obama. I haven't done any Barack Obama. Hold on a second, you guys. I haven't. I was doing it good the other day. I'm rusty. It's pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's pressure right now, Paulie. I'm nervous. You guys are making me nervous. President of the United States. They called me Barry O. Smoked hell ounces. Yeah, I went to Harvard. We turned up. Harvard. Don't call me a nerd. America's trying to call me a nerd because I went to Harvard. Why do you think they call me Barry O? I smoke weed. Now, today, I want to talk to you, America, about Operation Paperclip. It's when we took the Nazis. We had them. I start sounding like there's like an advertisement for a car dealership. Come on down to Skippy Roo's Auto Shop. We got Jimmy Dean Dale giving out the best deals. We got Herb Dean. 0% financing. 0. 5627 Wallopy Lane. We'll get you approved today. But sometimes you gotta stay on task. No, it's when you know what I'm saying? Dude. All right, synchronicity. I was going like this. I looked up and seen the word joint. Okay, bro. I pointed to it. I didn't even do that. I'm not that smart, you guys. I can't. My brain isn't gonna do something sneaky and manipulative like that. That was real shit. Like rewind the footage, dude. We got it on camera. That's crazy. That shit be happening though. So yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So we took all the Nazi technology and we became them pretty much. That's Project Paperclip. Valued at 10 billion in terms of patents and industrial processes. So 10 billion worth of the technology that they started coming up with back then was because of the Nazis. And back then, 10 billion was a lot more, dude. Oh boy, that's actually a little sketch. Nah, all right. See, dude, when they have information, that sometimes it changes, you know. It's like Deshaun Watson, you know. It's like, oh, those girls were just accusing him, and then it comes out like, yeah, he very specifically wanted some things up his butt or something like, you know, dude. Like, now I'm gonna look at it a little bit. That kind of. And then you kind of just look at it. You look at the guy. Sometimes you like, that's a guy who do some fucked up shit. I just don't understand the whole predatory. I don't know why men are into that, but whatever. I don't know, like, I guess, you know, you're trying to turn a massage into a happy ending. It happens. Probably does happen. Probably not as much as you think, but it probably has to. Maybe. You lose your license, though. You can't, I think you have to sign an oath, like, you can't fuck the customers. Dude, I don't know. I never went for a massage. I couldn't do that. That's just too intimate. Like, what the fuck? No, you're not gonna touch me all like that without something happening. Like, hell no. I ain't getting touched like that unless I'm getting money, honey. You ain't getting to feel like that unless, hey, costs money just to see, really. Yeesh. Yeesh, Brian. Yeesh. Yeah, and then the Nazis went to the T-Force to make everybody transgender. And then 5,000 transgender Germans came here. And they shot V2 rockets, and then they had the first transgender on the moon. And then in 1946, the Joint Chiefs of Staff issued Directive JC 106714 to General Eisenhower, instructing that he declare that traps are not gay. And you can bang a trans girl and be straight still. Amen. Caught in a bad romance. They were liberated from the Kitty, what the fuck? What are you doing? You trying to get some coffee? Trying to hit that bean, huh? That coffee bean. You can't step there, you dingus. You fool. You fool. Now I have you. Oh, yes. Oh, she's so nice and cuddly. Yeah, Polly, they would be sometimes they don't work as well. The boy knows too much. Sus. That the bell is now a sus alert too, you guys. Full homo. No. Yeah, other than what I explained, you know what I'm saying? The Nazis were gonna, like, I don't even know. But yeah, if you were gonna dismantle and make sure that party was no longer existent, you would want to take all their best people away from them. Bonnie Blue, dude. Pornographic. That would suck. Imagine Googling. Damn it. I don't even want. I don't want to talk about what I've made money in versus what I've not made money in. But you know what? Maybe me. Now that I think about it and apply, I don't want to be a hypocrite. And Brian Blue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's desperate times call for desperate pandering. Desperate pandering sometimes works, but and is soul invigorating in a strange way. These are secrets. This is when the weather boy gets to know things. But yeah, anyways, let's see what else I'm talking about here. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, somebody said I'm New England sober. If someone offers me ketamine, I'm doing ketamine. I mentioned that last time. That's a good one, you guys. You know, sometimes I have a lot of dumb thoughts on here. I'm looking through the things to say and a lot of dumb stuff. And sometimes I get on here. I struggle to actually try to do those bits because it's like I have a responsibility to not be a complete dingus. You know, it's like people's time, my words and my voice. I can craft it in a way where everything I say sounds interesting. You know what I'm saying? You become crafty over time. And I think of these goofy, silly, dumb things. Like, a woman has a moon cycle. A man has a goon cycle. It's the male version of a period, aka moon cycle. But the goon cycle, you're gooning out. Got a lot of people are addicted to pornography, just gooning out. But if they had the internet back in 1950, would they have been gooning out too? Yeah, I think probably. It's like things are gonna react to how they're gonna react to things. It's math and science and all that. This plus this equals that. And once you start trying to see the world a little bit more like a math equation, like a big dumb math equation. Start envisioning everything simpler than it actually is, even so if you have to oversimplify it, where you just tell yourself work hard, have fun, I guess I'm happy, sure. Check some boxes. Yeah, I know, like the synchronicities, bro. I had one at the mall. I was applying to a job. It was over the summer. I was applying to FYE, for your entertainment, as a store in the mall. And then I see this dude sit down at the other side of the food court, for whatever reason caught my eye. He was holding a bag, little bag, but I have good eyes, good vision. I see the future, bro. And it was an FYE bag. He had shopped at For Your Entertainment and sat down as I'm applying to the job. Like, what are the odds that that would just match up? I didn't have a set schedule at that time. So, like, I could have been up there whenever I wanted. Like, that's what, it gets weird, man. It gets weird. I get a little scared. It's just, I don't know, things start getting more real. You know? Things that I strive for something to be like this one day, or feel like this. And then the hump is easier to get to than you thought it was. And then it's kind of exponential with your thoughts and behavior throughout the day. And you keep catching yourself and fixing more and more and more. And you get into a cycle, loophole of constantly evaluating yourself, but also knowing that part of the fun of being a human and being happy is letting your brain kind of be loose and fun, but healthy. And it's hard to look back at myself and how mentally unhealthy I was. Like the things I would think about or worry about. But I almost feel like I had to like achieve and do some stuff and make the impossible possible to not. And do I think about the cool things now instead of the bad things? To avoid thinking about the bad things? Not necessarily. Because good things are good things, and good things you want to share with other people. So, yeah. But I don't know. I'm vastly a different character than what I used to be. That's for sure. I'm not the same individual. I took the Gil Ambrose. I took his spot. I kicked him out. I took him out of his chair. So get the fuck out of here. Not good enough. You shat. It's BryansWorld now, buddy. Shit's about to get popping. But I don't know. You start to see a path and you move needles. Things can be possible pretty quick. You have your basic needs kind of covered, or you know how to get by with less. So I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, it doesn't really feel real. Like, why am I not, why am I not mentally suffering? I don't really, ah, the technicalities, there's still some financial shit to sort out. Hopefully this job keeps working me. The holidays. But I'm just day to day, dude. Operation, play the game. Get under center and fucking call plays like a quarterback, bro. 52's the mic. That lady's your mom. Now she's my girlfriend. Oh. No. I might have mentioned earlier I'd been listening to some Andrew Tate in like his emergency meetings. And he has a big voice. A lot of people listen to him. You got to find him on like Rumble or something unofficial kind of. I like him, but if I was like, when I was suffering and I didn't know what to do with my life, he was not a good character to try to get information to grow from. He's very braggy, which can be kind of funny and stuff. I do think it was funny when he like brags about women and shit. What was he saying? He was like 2024 is the year where you got a boner and 2025 is the year you get laid. We're going to step it up, baby. Like some shit like that, you know? But he was more of like, he didn't really say we. He did kind of say you guys too, all the strong men out there in the real world. And I kind of vibe with that because there is like an element. I do think though he is very much a content creator celebrity type. Like is he like me where he has like a normal life and then does a pot, like is he a normal businessman running his businesses throughout the day and then him and his brother hop on a podcast and say a bunch of shit like I do? I'm pretty sure maybe. So that would be cool because a lot of these people are like celebrity lives. Like you're just really listening to people about their celebrity ass life. It's not normal. It's not even that interesting, really. So maybe it gave me the feel of that. And again, he's on like Rumble and stuff. I don't know if he was trying to make it as a content creator. I think he would be saying some different shit. I think he wants to have this let it loose, the real world. Here I am. I'm not afraid of these people, but I'm not like that obsessed with. I don't know. He does talk about like tearing them down and the shift happening. The problem with that is all these people are saying the shift is happening and they're right wing leaning. And the right wing president just got elected. I mean, come on, dude. It's dumb. It's a facade. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Did I do all the papers? Yeah, when you're mad about something, generally it's just people get mad because they feel like something's unfair usually. So you gotta think about that and understand that. Once you understand that life is gonna be unfair, you'll get mad less. Just be like, hey, you know what? That's life. Hey, you have that mentality, that's life. Write that down on the list. I'll write that down right now. That's life. You know, chew glass, breathe smoke. It's gonna suck a little bit, you know? Like, I'm finna go to bed right now just so tomorrow's a little easier. But no, I can go to bed at midnight, get 7 hours of sleep. We're Gucci. And sometimes people are mad because they're jealous or deep down. But really, it's like, yeah, you feel like it was an unfair situation or unfair moment that your side wasn't seen or heard. And you weren't able to elaborate because something threw you off. And it can make you mad. And if you care about all these little things, especially like I have a smart like hyper mind, so I notice a lot. I notice probably a lot of things that most people don't. That's why I do this shit. You feel me? I have a lot to say about a lot of things. What happens in the pile stays in the pile. Ain't that right, buddy? Don't do the SS though. Wouldn't that look like the modern? If you were gonna think of like a sneaky, a Nazi trying to blend in. They're amongst us. My thing with all these histories in this book's like, how much of this shit is, all these people actually going home and reading? Are all these people real that I'm seeing all? Oh, God. I'm scaring myself. I gotta take my medication, man. No, I mean, has anybody else ever felt that? Like, am I the only real person in this shit? I don't know, man. My brain's been churning too much. I need to relax. I've been too trippy in my brain. Like spiritual manifesting. And then it got too real and I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared now. But I like being scared. Because that's life. Dude. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Outside the matrix, playing a different game. You gotta be rich in spirit. You see, dude? Ride the tiger. Get on the gravy train, dude. The gravy train. Let me tell you about the gravy train. See you at the top. You guys? You gotta have your slogans. Yeah, I don't know. Last thing I'd end is reiterating on if you just keep telling yourself something. Especially if you I like to drop shit on my Snapchat for anybody young and like me, you know what I'm saying? You have Snapchat and your stories and it's a little fucking shit show that people play every day. I don't even look at people's story anymore. But I post and I talk hella smack or all sorts of stuff. Not that bad. I'm cool. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like now it's almost normal for me to say something ratchet. Well, I'm really just trying to scare the girls away from me. Because there's there's 2 hours a day I get a little romantic. Like, which one of these ladies do I like? Who am I feeling? Who would I go for? And then it's like, does it matter? It's not very practical. It's arbitrary. But it is fun to think about. But don't let it drag you down. You see? It's all strings. Pulling your strings, the puppet. Make the puppet dance. That's all we're doing. But yeah, if you blast something out on social media, I'm going to do this. Yeah, dude. You'll make more moves that put you in position to do that shit. You'll literally start acting and behaving in ways like tonight. I'm tired, but I've been coming up with things on my paper. Let it rip. Do some dabs. Get some energy. As many as it takes, bro. We do need to get to 2 hours, don't we? No, we don't have to. You don't have to do anything. We really don't have to do anything. But you have to do everything at the same time. You don't want to get lost in the abyss of nothingness. We're meant to do shit. It used to be hunting and gathering, and now we're, I don't even know. There's a lot of different stuff to do. And you can go climb a tree. They probably always did that. You can go walk to the Dollar Tree. Can make the plug walk to buy crack cocaine. Nothing I would know about. Oh, not a crackhead. But yeah, I don't know. I've been too jazzed up about it, you guys. Again. Because I have taken a lot of big steps forward. And a lot of these things, sometimes I talk my high horse, but some of these things really happen, Some of these events and these social attention that I get and the gratification and the enjoyment and the human fulfillment in my adventures is very magical. And that wasn't really something that was going on. You know, I was crazy before in the past. You know, 5G is mind controlling me. We got to overthrow the New World Order. They're about to do it. I thought they were about to do something pretty heavy at one point. When it was the freaking chemical spill and the trains and all our brains were going dumb because we were huffing the chemicals every day from the train in East Palestine. I live in Canton, like one city over from this giant national event that was talked about and everywhere and every single thing on the entire internet for 3 months. The trains, we're just train squirting. It was fun to train squirt, I'm not gonna lie to you. But it legitimately drove people crazy. It drove me crazy. It's all part of the plot, blah, blah, blah. I like to think everything happens for a reason. I don't know what made me such a cynic in the past. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I never wanted to be a cynic, but I wasn't treated in the right ways. But that's just bitchy. You know, I realize bitchy. You can't think like that. You can't really care who was nice and who wasn't nice. It's just a matter of like overall value and your movements in the present. That's really all that matters. Everything in the past was arbitrary. Whether or not I was this or that in the past, I don't really feel bad or anything, because perhaps I would have never gotten to this level of human function. I almost said humanoid and exposed that I'm actually one of the AIs. I replaced the old Brian. He's in a globalist cave being interrogated in his plans to overthrow the New World Order, but he got out and he's at large. You can ask your girl. Yeah, buddy. It's his own hair. The little faggot with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy. That's his own hair. So yeah, I don't know. I like to try to reflect because I need to reflect a little bit because I've been a little bit too look at me. A little too diva pop star-ish. And then also a little too trippy. And all that shit's a lot of energy going in my brain. And I'm just trying to do this fucking job. So I need to like, you know, you can think about butts. That's good. I need a little, I'm going to go play some video games and not hustle and grind anymore for the day because it's healthy to do that. That's why I'm more healthy now, because I did that yesterday and the day before. So I needed some video game sessions, you know. But I keep this mentality of like, I have this junkyard dog mentality. Like, I'm still in the pound. You still ain't shit. You're still in the gutter. And no matter how good it looks, you always gotta have that mentality of the junkyard dog. It's like a guy and I learned this kind of shit from my Cleveland Browns, bro. Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett, they've been here, and Joel Bitonio. These are 3 guys on the Browns. Nick Chubb before he got hurt too. These are junkyard dogs, and Denzel has said that, like, we're some junkyard dogs. And junkyard dogs, you know, I've seen these guys perform and make Pro Bowls and be star players and make big time plays in meaningless shit. I've seen them do their very best in meaningless ass games where we sucked at the end of the year. And then the things they'd say in the interview were just like men obviously suffering through loss and failure, but being strong and learning through it. And I've learned from them. So the junkyard dog mentality is important, because you might be undefeated or something, or looking good in the playoffs or something like that, but If you get too ahead of yourself, you're not going to execute. And part of it's being in the zone. But it's a balance. And you get carried away when you start making moves and having some abilities. You want to show people. You want people to know. You want to put yourself on the map because you're capable of doing so and you've pulled off the impossible. You know, I like this talk and what it's like to be on the other side of suffering. That's what it's like. But you're always that's how you not suffer, is accepting that, yeah, a lot of things are gonna suck and be annoying and not work out. You might have to worry. But in the grand scheme of things, you'll be fine, you know? Sacrifices, but like buckle up. You better be ready for the hoedown, or the buckle up, or the shabam, the function. You better be ready. You better be ready for your opportunities. But you have to get ready to be tricked, because you're gonna be tricked sometimes in this world. It's a world of clownery and jokerism and deception and usury. It's always been all cultures have been some form of usury, one way or the other. Like, how technical are romantic relationships in terms of like, okay, I'm gonna decide to spend a shit ton of my time with you. How much of that is based on the fact that you're using their essence to make you comfortable, or is this some kind of equation where you actually make each other better and strive for more glow and experience? Because it do be like that sometimes. You see it. People are good fits for each other. I still love you, Cheyenne. If you're watching, baby. Mommy P. Mommy P. I'll make a song for you. Don't know Mommy P. Don't know where you at. Don't know nothing about the figuring too. I wanna be a dyke like you and slap a bitch and all them things you're into. Even if you're into a little bit of scat. There's just doors, you guys. There's doors behind doors. Some of them are dope. Some of them are bad. Bad places to be. You just, oh, you know what I'm saying? Life be like that. You open this door. This is a nice place. This seems cool. This seems dope. This seems good for me. And then once you go in that door, okay, you're inside now. You're checking out the other doors. Oh, this is dope. This is shit. You got a fucking game room in here. What's up? What is this? There's a massage chair in here. There's a heated blankie. There's a coffee maker machine. Oop, spilled coffee. Coffee maker machine. There's a blumpkin pumpkin sitting around, bro. It's interesting, and that's the problem. You open the door and there's a blumpkin pumpkin. There's someone pooping into a pumpkin, and like people in the Baphomet outfits and Satan devil outfits, like masturbating, and you're like, what the fuck did I just? What door? Why was that there? Oh, this was a nice place. I felt young again, like a youngster at the YMCA and doing sports. Climbing the rock wall, and dear Lord, my innocence is gone. I've walked in on the Blumpkin pumpkin experience. And yeah, I'm elaborating a little bit, but yeah, no. Like, that's a door, you guys. People's brain get into poop stuff and scat. And, you know, you might think you know someone, but you don't. I'm I'm bringing this up because I would hypothesize someone I know is into scat, and I don't want to talk. I don't want to tell what person it is in my life. Um, I'm not even gonna say their gender, but I believe this individual could be fooling around with the. There's some kind of toot. And there's another kind of toot. Like, so I don't know how comedically talented this person was, but they were to fart and then look at me sexually, and I thought that was fun and really funny. But then I thought about it later, and I would say, would I have done that? And I thought it was cute at the time, and I still do. I still think this is a wonderful quality, and I think it was a good bit and a good performance when this individual farted, and then like looked like, yeah. So how much of it is like being funny versus where does it really come from? I have no doubt this person has pooped in a jar for money before. I've definitely done that. But now actually being excitable about the scat is a whole another avenue. Um, where sometimes, I'm a king of Babylon. I like to see what Babylon has to offer. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to die and be sick by doing poopy stuff. And, but that is a thing. And I know I bring it up because as wise as some people feel looking at all this high level information that we have access to on the internet, the dark side of the force is strong. And I think that, I don't know, some of these fetish things they've been cutting back on, I think. So like you gotta have a guy now, and you gotta pay. So you can't just Google poop stuff. You gotta like, ask an OnlyFans girl to do it for $10K or something. Why does this happen? I don't know if people get bored. I don't know if they have anything better to do. I don't know if it's a mental. There is a level to like sexual depravity that gets people off, and it's somewhat understandable. The brain can do weird shit. People have done crazy things. So if you like do the math in terms of we're animals, okay. Well, some of the dysfunction that shows up in the animal kingdom might show up here. Animals play with their feces sometimes and eat it. Dogs will eat their poop. That's why I don't have a dog. Cats don't eat their poop. They poop in a litter box and leave it the fuck alone to be thrown out. Dogs poop in yards and then eat it, and then people don't clean it up, so you have a half-eaten poop just all over the place. Just shit everywhere because people don't clean up after their dumbass dogs. Oh no. Now that I think about it, you guys, that's more evidence. There was, I cleaned it up. I helped clean up poop in the girl's backyard. And there was so much dog poop. They're just letting the dog poop and just every day realizing there's so much poop in that backyard. You have no idea. It made me think of someone that's okay living their life knowing that there's that much poop back there. and they definitely have time to clean it up. Like, you should have shampooed the carpet 5 days in a row, honey. You gotta clean up the poop. Don't worry about the carpet. And then, they want to have dogs and all. God, you guys. It's like there's the cool side of people, and then there's like, what the fuck? You open the door and you love the door. You love what you see. It's happy. And you're glowed. And then you open one of the doors and you're like, God damn it. And then you finally open a door that's like, I've had enough. I'm leaving this establishment. I don't care about the other stuff. For Christ's sakes. It's not good. It's not mentally. I mean, you see a person over sexualized and how that affects someone's mood. Dude, the moodiest and craziest things I've ever done in my life involved the pussy, either easy or taken away or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It can be a spell that drives someone batshit insane when it's taken away like that. You get addicted. It becomes daily. It becomes a worship. The safe place. And then it's gone. And that makes people go cuckoo bananas. And I say if it happened, under that, if you're like 26, it's kind of like cut off. 27 maybe, 28. There's like a cut off. Where like, everybody's going to go crazy over one of them. I don't know. If you're the romantic type, yeah. You'll over-romanticize somebody and it won't work out and then you'll go crazy. And then if you have mental health disorders, like whatever you do isn't your fault, you guys. Don't make people make you... Oh, the old version. There he is again. Show you. Oh, the old version. Yeah. Because the new version... See, the old version of me, if you pissed him off like that, he would be yelling and screaming and saying, what the fuck? But the new version is tactical and can act and can be slick. And execute the moments. And when I need to keep my cool. But when someone needs to be destroyed. It's like Darth Vader, you know what I'm saying? When he's in his dark side of the Force masturbation cave. Thinking about Padme and how he fucked up. Smoking OG Sith Kush. Hell yeah, dude. Smoke that OG Sith Kush. I feel good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling alright. But yeah, I don't know. The way to win on the quest, on your personal quest, is to not be too obsessed with the concept of the quest and instead the details of how to get there, like me. And I could be preserving some of my energy to be more focused, and I don't know, I need to do something. I'm spending like 40 minutes a day on the pooper. So I gotta stop eating. I can't eat no 10:17 Brick Squad, baby. 10:17 Eastern Standard Time. You're now tuned into Bryan's World, baby. Parental advisory, explicit content. 9/11. Never forget it was an inside job. Never forget. A shield. But how often did I allow in the past, and it showed up in this shit, did I allow something stupid to piss me off? I mean, interaction with a girl not giving me a chance. And there's just some... There was some ones, and looking back... Um, maybe I was too talky, but at the same time, to like, oh, he's one of these talky rant guys, and he's also very attractive. Like, and I'm just got out of a bad thing where a guy tricked me. They're like, no, and they run, bro. I didn't know that. I was dumb and naive and stupid in the dating world. I didn't understand that concept. I didn't realize that I was pretty good looking and charming and funny and interesting. And like very capable of someone liking me very quickly, to the point where if they've been screwed over by a good looking guy in the past, they're like, oh, here we go again. You're not tricking me again. Goodbye. I've done that to girls myself now. So now I understand these things, you know? So now I wouldn't let nothing like that bother me. In fact, I had one of the biggest heartbreaks I've ever had this year. What did I do? Chain smoking the Kirby vacuum sales van and go out there and trap the Kirby vacuum door to door. You just dive bomb people's houses. Like, what's that? Not like that. But you play the Kirby, man, dude. There's a certain. I would dress really sharp and nice, like dress clothes. I wouldn't wear my earrings unless we were in like a more urban city vibe. If we were out in the country, I'm no nose ring, no nothing. I'd be very smart. I'd keep my hair shorter. Yeah, dude. I was about that shit. I was good. I came in like Tom Brady, but you know what? Another door. Another bad door. You open behind there and the motherfucker's going to a food bank. They told me $3,000 a month base pay. That's why I'm here. Suddenly you realize pretty quickly that was a lie. And then you realize these people is down bad. Now you're down bad. And like some people, you wish them well. But when you exhaust yourself mentally and physically for someone to only get paid $100 at the end of it all, that would be a problem, because that could then happen to somebody else. And I don't like that. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I don't like. But I've told these people reflections that I'm sure stick to their head, and they people can live a lie, but you can tell by their habits if they're doing a lot of dating stuff on the phone, looking for Tinder and Facebook dating, or they're scrolling through the thing and they're playing fucking poker. They're doing something on here. That's a lost soul. And not everybody, but most people. Dude, I go down and sit in my counselor office. If I got something urgent on my phone, yeah, I'll take care of it, or communication that's urgent. But I like to sit and I like to watch. I like to be the one that don't pull out my phone. I like to look at the Hallmark Channel and they got some love show on, and I'm like learning Riz. See what I'm saying, you guys? I used to be like the angry, like, the Hallmark, romantic. It doesn't work out for everybody. Just so you know, it doesn't really work out like that for everybody. Not everybody finds someone that they can actually fucking stand. Okay. But now, it's like I want to learn, these are some literally shows, romance, soap opera type shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're female centric, so you can pick up on things and learn things. There's reasons. There's a whole ton of reasons why when a woman approaches me and talks to me, it goes solid. No one ever thinks I'm weird. Everyone thinks I'm interesting. A lot of times, if I want the phone number, you get the phone number. If it's in that setting, like a bar, dude. But why? Is it because of anything? No, you guys. You gotta sit and not scroll on Twitter and instead see what they're saying on the Hallmark Channel. See what this dude's saying. Listen. Observe. And you'll start noticing some shit. The synchronicities, and I'm not even saying like, oh, people are sheep these days. Forget it. I mean, don't worry about that. I like to goon at them, the sheep a little sometimes, scare the sheep a little, but for the most part, dude, I want to be a shepherd and awaken the sheep and enable the sheep to be powerful. And that isn't the easiest thing to do in these times. But yeah, this you know what I'm saying. Listen to the comedians, podcasts, rabble rabble. I talked about that on the last episode. You know, they're gonna write better jokes, but they're not gonna out podcast me. Out podcast me? No, I don't think Theo Von does. I don't. I listened to Theo Von recently. I listen to myself all the time doing editing. I don't think I do what he wants to do better. He's a little funnier than I am with the jokes, but also some of his stuff is just like illogical word salad stuff that people are, Theo says funny things, and it's getting to a point where like it used to be clever and it's not like as clever. I think, dude, performance type shit ain't easy. I have to keep my mind in a certain vibe throughout the day to be able to put on a 2-hour show like this and talk about some shit, no matter what it be. I got to be coming up with my ideas, my scratch pads at work when I'm doing my assembly line ass shit. But what happens in the pile stays in the pile, dude. But yeah, like I guess does everybody want to it's so hard because we only have a certain amount of hours in a day and things can get routine. So how does someone find a new show? How does someone find a new podcast? How does someone start listening to you? Well, you buzz out there with some shorts. You hope one of them hits good enough to subscribe to you. You hope that they see more of your shorts. You hope that you make them laugh or giggle or be clever or wise enough times to be, it's like an emotion. Like you see me and I don't even have to say anything and you get an emotion because you know me. So you trust that when you see something that's 2 hours, that it's not going to be a waste of time or invaluable or unfresh or the same rabble you see everywhere else. I'll find a way, and always a way, to attack things at a different angle. And my unique little, I'm a little bit of everything. I'm just going to be a little bit of literally everything. The whole spread. Personality wise. And then my adventures out there in the real world. That's just what I do. It's a system. And it used to be a shit show. Chasing the live streams. Chasing the algorithm. What would do well in the algorithm doing the sports. Did I really want to do all those sports streams? They were fun. But anytime you make something that you can't go back and listen to again and say, that was good, entertaining, interesting, weird, out of pocket, but enlightening. That's kind of what I felt about Monday. Monday was a good, I listened to that show at work and I was just, I was impressed. To be candid, I did. Sometimes I am impressed by how things come out. You don't always know how it's going to come out. I suspect that my voice is going to be inflection. I'm going to have some wiggle moments, little pizzazz, puzzle. But I also realized like the grind behind achieving. You know, you can't just be like the hopping on every once in a blue moon. I gotta get my shorts edited and get some shit out there. But the plane's been landed. You know, I'm off the plane. I'm walking around, dude. I'm checking shit out. We're getting it bumping. Um, I would hope to do some skit stuff soon. I'd hope to do more. Trying to meet more people, do more and expand. I can't do all that by myself. I can only do this by myself, to be candid. I can't do anything else. I can do my editing and my stuff and my clips. But outside of that, marketing, I don't have time. I just don't. There's other things that I do. I have more. I have more. I can do more. That's how you get better, bro. There's only one way. And that's when you feel like you're done and you need to go play Call of Duty. Kind of thug it out a little bit. So how about we take a pause in the action? And I'll do what I need to do. A little bit of crack in the stripper that's sitting there. No. Nah, I'm playing. I ain't got nobody here. My daughter's sleeping. So you want to have the spirit of fighting, but you don't really want to worry about the opponent. You know what I'm saying? We always have this opponent in our heads, like, and sometimes I go there, like with my ex-wife, dude. Divorce, you're gonna go there. You're gonna kind of be a little adversarial unless even if you're friends, there's always a little adversarial shit. Unless you're falling in love again or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little rusty. The connection's gonna be rusty. And there's gonna be times when you're like, I wish they could see me now. But in my position, I was like that for a very long time. Probably up until I have my big shit fall. I just always kept it in the back of my head. Now I don't. And I actually feel bad about the situation. I feel terrible. I'm not saying like, because I don't know if I could have been this version of me for that person. And I don't know who dragged who into it all. You know, it's always somebody's idea. Whose idea was all this? Why are we like this? And it's because we both pushed towards it. But people grow apart, and that's the reality. And it can happen quickly. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. It can happen again. Sometimes you grow into each other and glow each other up. Me, I have a different path and story to achieve. I thought maybe for a while going to college, that would be like in the business, tech world. Perhaps, you know, I tried a double major to be computer engineering and corporate finance. Two difficult majors in one. I felt like I could do it because I had a recent mental expansion over the first 2 years of college, where I became much more of a student than I ever was in high school. And I saw my grades as somewhat competitive and did want to do the best that I could in all my tests. So that was the first time I just didn't. I did have that in high school, but I wanted to and tried my best when I was taking the test. But whether or not I was actually prepared in college, I became a studier. I became a note, and it's to this day. Okay, flashcard notes, sorted out. My Google Keep, my Google Docs. Like, this is an organized ass motherfucker. So it was a very big mental expansion. A lot of that I would hand it to psychedelic experiences on mushrooms, just day-to-day college experience and being free, as well as smoking weed. I would smoke weed and study for 6 hours and get an A. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take the test stone too. That's kind of the catch-22 with the whole. It's true, man. But I would be in certain things where my skill or my brain fit in good, like data analytics. I was a beast. I was like, me and this other girl, we're scrapping it out for number one in the class. We both had like 100%. Just scrapping, bro, every day. Yeah, did you see my shorts? Well, you know, I keep my body in pretty good shape, Paul. Even when I don't have a gym membership these days, I've done a really good job. No excuses. I got a basketball hoop across the street. I got some things to do, some curls. You can always do push-ups. Chinchy, Luke, whenever I'm in my hometown every 2 weeks, visiting family, I'm up in there in his basement. He got a bench and shit. Do some lift, you know. Be at the park, do some pull-ups. I find my inches. Stretching throughout the day. I'm getting real flexible. What's up, Floppy? Yeah, I did want to talk about the Class A situation. I don't know if you're in here or not, but I did have that on my list of things to communicate about. So, let's see. Like, betting is betting to start with. Like, you're already betting money on the line. So the whole concept of like taking that to the max and willing to sacrifice your time, life, and freedom and money, there's something interesting going on. And I'm not. At first, I was kind of like, why would you need extra money, dude? What kind of shit are you into? What kind of off the books weird shit are you into? Because that shit goes on. It, it, uh, I have met somebody underage, trafficked, like real shit. It's not uncommon that people have had that experience underage, and like you're a lot of big ticket people for that, especially when it's very attractive woman, female, like the 16-year-olds that the people want, the freak shows want, and all that, like all this pedophile stuff. That's where my mind starts going instantly. If somebody rich and they want to make money off the books, I'm a little bit nervous about who you are now, because that starts getting it's a tick my brain. Like what the hell, dude? Like, imagine me getting paid $5 million a year to be the closer. God damn, you know exactly how I'd be. I'd be like I am with my job, or how I've been with the podcast at times, like day in, day out, ladder and flex. Solid dude. I had some pitfalls in the past, but we all do as men, right? Mine just became a little more part of my content. But yeah, anytime you're using something evil in nature, and again, we're here to take sips, but you open, like I was saying earlier, you open a certain door, close that door, feel it out. A little sports betting, ain't nothing wrong with that. But then taking that to the next level, and the integrity of the game and who you are as a person, and potentially using your skills and elite level skills to forget about your team, with money on the line for yourself, extra money off the books. Probably only made $500,000, I think, not even. Like, I don't even know, you guys. Was it only like 100,000 or something stupid? But basically, what they're saying is that the money went to somebody in the Dominican. There's somebody in the paper trail down the Dominican. So that makes me feel a little bit better that they were sending it to their Dominican homies and families. Which in that case, it's still, why not, you're making $5 million, dumbass. Just give them some of your paycheck, idiot. Again, I just, some of it could be the thrill. They don't, maybe, I don't know, he probably don't speak English, do we? So who knows what the fuck's going on? We don't really know this guy. We don't know anything about this dude. We don't speak his language. We really don't know him. How would we know him? We can't understand him. So yeah, I it's just one of those things where, will there be a book one day, a tell-all, or this is just one of those things that's just gonna drag out, like what the fuck happened really. It seems flimsy. It's kind of like the freaking Wander Franco, like it just seems flimsy at this point. And then Wander Franco ended up actually being a weirdo. That's true. But at first it seemed a little flimsy. But at the end of the day, like, I guess what they're being accused of, that apparently, like, yeah, there was a certain pitch that you threw a certain fucking way that a bunch of people bet on. Like, I get it. But yeah, he'll be banned from MLB. He'll never play again. And if they have the evidence that they're accusing of and they have a paper trail, they might make a fucking example out of him, and they could both get 10. Ortiz, like 2 or 3. Emmanuel Clase, you're looking at 10 years. If it was dating back to 2023 and they get paper trails, if they get a fucking witness to spill beans, dude, they're gonna make an example out of that guy and put him in prison. He'd probably get 10, get out in 5. From what I know about the justice system, with a high class guy like that, I don't know if you want to ruin his fucking life for all this, but yeah, 5 to 10. It's just, you know what I'm saying. You sign on the dotted line. I will not do this. You really broke your contract, broke everything. And he was like our closer and really good and under contract for a long time. So I'm not really very happy at all as a fan of my baseball team that someone who I looked up to would do something shitty. But at the end of the day, if he did it for his family, I'm not going to judge. Fuck baseball, MLB, rich bastards. Like, fuck them. Gambling, fuck them. Fuck the sports books. I see that if it's for family shit, I see why. Or if it's just like a risk it for the biscuit, like he's weird like that and wants to fucking fuck it. Or somebody told him in Spanish, you can, hey, el diablo, get away with this, though. Who told you that, bro? Who told you we're gonna get away with this? Because you're probably not. They monitor this shit heavy. The NSA is tracking everything we do. I like it, dude. The thing too about this is like, I guess there's a level of like warrants and stuff and how much they can dig up on somebody, but apparently, I think it's pretty easy. Like what? You think the NSA is gonna make it fucking hard for our justice system to say, hey, give us the fucking documents or give us Emmanuel Classe's phone calls, please? Translator. Yeah, we bet on the pitch. El pitcho. El ninth inning. Next time me close. Oh, I throw the cinco. You bet money, you bet win. You tell everybody you bet the cinco. He watched, dude watched Pulp Fiction. And he wanted to be in on it. And then I did hear some people say stuff about the mafia. Now, I knew a guy. He lived in Las Vegas for like, I think like 7 years. He went out there for a wedding. Before he lived there, he lived in Ohio, went out there for a wedding. He missed the wedding. He didn't make it to the wedding for his dude, his best man or whatever. He was off just enjoying the Vegas. Decided that he's like, I want to go live there. So he lived there for like 5 years. And I think he just sold drugs. And then got in a shit ton of trouble. And then was in jail for a while. Prison for a while. A couple of years. And then I met him on a temp job. He told me, now this was a dude that sold drugs. He said, hey, I never had a real job in my life. I just been a hustler. He's like, I don't really do none. I smoke weed, but I don't do none of that shit. But I hustle. I don't do none of that life no more. That was all out there, but I got away from it. Whether or not I don't know. He seemed like a good guy. I liked him. You know. But anyway, he lived in Las Vegas, and he said the mafia really runs shit. There is a mafia. There's Italian. Like, it's real shit, bro. They are still they have a presence. He says they gotta get their. He always says they gotta get their cut. And he was adamant about that, which means it was emotionally. It's emotional when people are adamant about something. It's something that they're emotional about, which means, well, he probably had to pay his cut and was probably annoyed at it over a long period of time. It was like, yeah, I gotta pay. Everybody gotta get their cut. You know, you can see information in people. I've always been good with that when I'm focused and in the moment. So yeah, he said it's not just the drugs, they're the gambling, They're just in power, dude. They still have power and presence. People go, man, like, yeah. You don't want to get. I wanted to stay in Ohio. I don't even like Austin, Texas, the comedy scene. I don't even know. What if I get big, and like some dudes like Slim Jimmy. Hey, the pepperoni. I gotta get the cut. The BryansWorld. I get to get mafia. Get to cut. I'm like, how did you? Oh, oh, you've got hackers to pull my IP address and blah blah blah. Now you know where I live. Okay. I don't want to wake up next to a horse's leg or anything crazy. Let's give the mafia their cut. They don't want that much. They just want to have power. And make sure you talk about it in the BryansWorld next episode. Listen, I'm actually gonna give you my $100. I want you to talk about the pepperoni. We got the best pepperoni in town, Slim Jimmy's pepperoni. Come on down and get some Slim Jimmy's pepperoni. And if you don't, the motherfucker's gonna get iced out. I'm Tony motherfucking Montana. You think I'm the bad guy? It's cause you don't have the guts to be who you want to be. Or you point at me and say I'm the bad guy. I say you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. I'm just the one to make you feel better. You're like, dude, no, bro. We're good. We're good on murdering and drugs and doing a lot. You're just cooked out, too. He's like, you want to be the bad motherfucker? You want to be the bad guy? I used to be into that mentality. No, I'm the good guy. I'm showing people how to do it, you know? They call me the bad guy. I'm gonna do some fucking cocaine on a fucking asshole, motherfucker. I don't know. I gotta, just a reflection of myself. I've got to focus more on the next steps as opposed to like the look at me now. It's a hard, when you make big strides and moves and your mentality and behavior and shit and routines and keep clean and just a whole different energy, dude. More focused and shit. It's hard not to just be thinking throughout the day. And it does give you a glow to compare yourself now to the past and appreciate all the movements you've made. But it's one of those things, you know, we're out here pulling the strings, being the doctor, and we only got a certain amount of time. So you got to be efficient. That's why I kind of stepped away from the news cycle. Is because like I want to be more efficient. If I'm doing news cycle, you want to make it as that. Well, you gotta be on here every day talking about the same news shit, bringing new angles and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's too much work to have a full-time job and be able to do that. So I have to make an actual podcast show with information that is not time sensitive. You feel me? Like just like funny ideas. Not necessarily following any kind of trend, but you know, talking about our tools, needing to have our tools. Of course, some things I gotta talk about, but you know, talking about what happens in the pile stays in the pile, dude. The Secret Service as SS, but pointing out that Project Paperclip doesn't have to be a nefarious conspiracy to exist. It's pretty real that just, hey, dismantle Germany and finish off that regime. Pretty simple. You'd want to hire the Nazi scientist. But yeah, you can't go back. You can't go back. You can't really go forward. can only control what's right here. You can set yourself up and, make the stepping stones. I always had this, I have a recurring dream. It's like, it's based off like being at a beach as a kid or something, but the idea of like, you would use stones to get all the way across Lake Erie. And in my head, the Lake Erie wouldn't be deep. It would just be shallow the whole time. And you could just, like, this weird psychedelic realm dream that I'd have, where you'd keep following the rocks. And it would get a little misty and hard to see, but you keep going. And then the dream would end. I'd pussy out and the dream would end. I never got to Canada. I grew up near Cleveland, Ohio by Lake Erie. But I always had this shit, and it became more meaningful throughout my life, that recurring dream. That there was the idea, like I used to at the park as a kid. You know, you'd use the rock to cross it and try to not get in the water, like the water's lava. But this super psychedelic, weird realm of this dream that has followed me. It really means something and is meaningful looking back, because that's kind of what you do in life, is you kind of keep trying to set this stone and keep moving. And it's like, fuck, how the fuck how am I gonna get across Lake Erie with these stones? What the fuck? That's kind of the vibe of the dream. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this, and it seems absurd, but why don't we try to cross these fucking rocks? Why don't we try? I want to go in that fog. I want to transcend. And what if, like, we don't need the rocks? And that was always like this angelic, like, you would float. And that's when the dream would end, when you start floating up. And that's how it is, dude. You go up when you realize you don't need the rocks. Like, you don't need all this shit. You know, there's a lot of things that are hard to come by. Like a good romantic relationship, like sometimes a little sniffy. Make a random makeout with a strange chick. You know, all there's things that you think you want and need. The car, the house. But maybe you really just needed to smile and think about the tree. You're like, I wonder if that tree has a dick. That's what you just kind of walk around life wondering if the trees have dicks, and suddenly you've transcended into a higher being. It's kind of how it works. I got less intellectual and more silly, and it made me more intellectual. I say less words. Less filler. More introspect and pizzazz. It's a verbal experience, an exchange of emotion and strength that I wish to empower the people with. And that's something, you know what? You know, we're always working on the craft. I like to work out my craft while I'm doing the craft, dude. I need to talk about dreams more. And because I want to move on, you know, this whole fighting through the suffer and finding a way to be a king of Babylon, that's good, and I think it's been amazing and valuable, but I really want to start getting a little bit more into stuff like dreams. Stuff to talk more on show. I like to call this a show and not a podcast. I feel this is a showing. It's not just somebody talking. This is a showing of a human. Showing. But yeah, I got into dream stuff. Madden 11 was the Madden, so 2011. So I would have been 15? Yeah. I don't know, 15 or something like that. That's when I started. I would track a lot of dreams. I don't have the old scriptures of my old dreams and stuff. I wish I did, my goodness, because I did record a fair amount. But what I found is that dreams can be too much data sometimes. It's not the best practice to remember your dreams every day and write them down. But when you start practicing the act of remembering your dreams, you'll start to get better at it, and then you learn to kind of blur the lines of all that shit, and you get lucid dreams, and you really you're waking up from stuff that really, really felt like it all just happened. You're like, it's a lot of information, and you could sit there and write it down, but it's best to kind of reflect on it. And by the time you're getting in the shower, dude, putting on the deodorant, like, it's kind of off your mind. And even as lucid and real and with this girl that I'm in love with still, like, her name is Cheyenne. I love you, baby, if you're watching. I hope you love me forever one day. But yeah, like, I had a lot of them. That's why it was tough. It's tougher for me to go through a breakup because I'll keep having dreams, and I keep just getting hit with it because of my stupid lucid dreaming. And my medication makes it even more. I was already a lucid dreamer, and the medication I'm on is known for having extreme lucid dreams. So I come into taking Seroquel with already some skills, and like, oh man, I'm living a different life. There's a whole like story going now. It's starting to like connect and seem more real. And I think that's a good thing, not a crazy psychotic thing. I think that dreams are powerful and we can learn things, and the more real I can make this dreamscape world, the more I can observe and learn from it. And like last night I had this dream that I did something horrible, sort of like not cool-ish, but to get me popularity or attention and money. And I just remember like people I went to high school with like mocking me, like calling me a sellout, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're weird now. Kind of like, I've gotten teased in the past for being different or weird. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm past all that. It makes you who you are. But yeah, so that kind of shit, those memories show up in my dreams, and it's just like, you people don't understand. You people don't understand why I had to do what I had to do and why I'm into what I'm into. And if your life went my way, you'd be the same way as me. We'd be one of the same if you were in my shoes, because that's how I'd be you if I was in your shoes. I'd be acting just like you and saying the same thing and ridiculing myself if I was you, and I'm accepting of that. And I realized, like, oh, that's the conclusion. Because that's what I started thinking about during the day. I had this dream of me getting ridiculed, and obviously in the dreamscape, it's hard, you don't have high-level intelligent thoughts, but when you put it together in the morning, when you start trying to form ideas and thoughts and conclusions of what the dream meant, it made me realize, like, it's okay for other people to not understand or like what I'm doing or what I say or how I act. And maybe there is going to be some of that, and I have to accept that, and I have to try to use that as an opportunity and at bat to convert. Join my donkey brains universe. Yes, I will show you the ways. You know, I've had a recurring George Washington crossing the. I haven't had that in a while though. Crossing the river on Christmas and sneak attacking the sleeping British. Yeah, they tricked us. They knew we were gonna do it. There was nobody there. That's the dream. I never said that part of it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. You want to seem like it's real. Like I actually was George Washington in the past life. But maybe I was. But the truth is, like I remember that dream and like there was like early on when I started playing video games. There was like that recurring dream turned into like violence. But it would go back and forth whether or not like it would flip flop whether they were there or not. Like there's sometimes they'd be in the tents, and sometimes they wouldn't be there at all. But when they were there, you would brutally like murder them with the things on the bayonet. It's horrible. Why do I have this recurring dream? Like I don't know. We learned about that shit in school. I might have not been George Washington in the past life. Maybe I just learned about it in school. But part of life and having fun and manifesting and being spiritual is just telling yourself you were George Washington in a past life and walking around with that nugget. You want to just have a pocket full of those stupid dumb nuggets that are like Polly has some good nuggets, you know. Y'all have good nuggets, you know. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like I'm preaching to the people, the new people who would find this, you know. I think I see that my current people on here is more of collaborators than like I'm trying to preach to y'all. I kind of know y'all understand the shit a little bit too. So I see it as more of a collaboration. But yeah, you know, it would be nice if my stream were to get more views. If I did the vertical stream, yeah, I'd get more views. But you know what? I'm not going there. I think I do need to do the repeat streams though. I need to start doing those every night. Why not? It'll grow. I think that could grow my channel if I start doing those every night. So my podcast is in like a loop being shown. I don't want to start that up yet, but we'll start doing that. We do need to do the podcast loop, yeah. All right, that's enough for me. I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, keep it real. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.